Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is August 20th, Thursday, did that say? Welcome back. This morning I decided to make, or this specific morning, because this was a couple days ago, I decided to make the TikTok coffee, which, if you're not aware, is just sugar, water, and the instant coffee. And you whisk it together, which took me like 10 minutes, by the way, and create this fluffy concoction that tastes really yummy. I made two different ones, one for me and one for my sister. That's sort of the next couple clips. Guys, what do you guys think about these videos? I always get questions about like what I eat, and hey, there's the oat milk that I love. So I decided to make this sort of video to kind of lay out some cool, interesting meal ideas. But anyway, I always try to make this coffee like light because I always feel the punch after. Anyway, so later, I'm pretty sure it was that day. This is my brunch, I think. Basically, or maybe my like late lunch. I basically grilled zucchini, tofu, and then also some vegetables like mushroom and what else did I do? And tomato, I think, with soy sauce and salt and pepper, which you'll see in the next couple clips. This is also how I like to cut my tofu. Not that you ever asked, but I just want you to know that I think this would, like, cutting my tofu in triangles just is really cute. But basically, I'm putting this all in a pita bread. And also, I had some sparkling water. If you can't hear the sound, I basically had an oopsie. I literally opened my sparkling water and it spilled everywhere, which I was super annoyed about. This is me grilling the mushrooms, grilling it with tomatoes, adding some parsley because apparently the parsley activates after it's been exposed to heat. Then tofu, and then pita bread. I made this sort of like cream cheese with lime and a little bit of nooch. This sort of spread that I, for some reason, added after, not before I added everything else into the pita bread. But it tasted so good. I also added a bunch of like fresh veg in here too. And then I added the tofu, zucchini, mushroom, etc., etc. I had some extra and I took that to work. This was super duper duper good. I hope that you guys make this recipe. It's super simple. I love when recipes are like just like vegetables and it still tastes amazing. Maybe I would have added a sweet potato for like if I wanted to change up the flavor of this. But this was so good. I love this. Did I already mention this? I took some to work the next day because I was too lazy to make new food. If you haven't watched my last video, I made some cookies. These are them. I didn't have enough to bring to my brother, so I made more. These take like 2 days to make, so I was hard at work later that night making these cookies for him, and that's how they came out. Love this recipe. It's kind of a hassle because it's like, I think it's like 1 day to make, right? And then you have to refrigerate it, but I love that it's like so gooey in the inside. Everyone also loves these cookies. And then I think this was the morning after that I decided my brother had made pasta. I just put some leftover lentil soup, as well as some parsley, and then some shredded Parmesan. All of this is vegan, by the way. Did I already mention that? Like all of the cheeses that I'm adding in here. I had that was super good, filling. Those are my new supplies that I got at the Asian market, by the way. And then one single cookie. The next day, I think, or later that same day, my mom came into town and she loves making burgers. Her burgers always were great. This is the Beyond Meat, by the way. And then we decided to pair that with lemonade as well as avocado, which that's why we have an in-depth tutorial on how to make guacamole. I was in charge of it. So if you're not aware, by the way, that's my brother on the camera. If you're not aware, you use avocados, however many. I did 4 of the large ones. We actually had a bunch of extra, so maybe don't use that. But avocado, lime juice, salt, pepper, as well as what else? Onion, tomato, and cilantro. And that was super yummy. Again, we didn't finish all of it. I had the one burger and I was really full. I hope that, besides this recipe, like this one specifically, also chili. I hope that some of these recipes are kind of different and maybe you try them. And I'm also trying to eat healthier. I do eat healthy, but I've been kind of slacking. My mom was judging me because I was using the wrong knife. That is how the burgers came out. Super duper good. Moving on. This was a Saturday, August 22nd. This is literally the time that I first started eating. I think I had like a banana earlier, but I was eating leftovers just because this day was so busy for me. Rice, beans, leftover veg from the pita bread. And then this right here is avocado, pickled avocado. So good. I'll have a recipe down below. I made this before I decided to film this video. So I didn't actually make it during, but I also hate when people say that when they're like, oh, the recipe is like linked down below. Like, I just want to see it, dude. But basically what this is, it's like a Mommy Tang's like recipe, and you just kind of cut avocado and then peppers, spice your soy sauce along with like 1 part soy sauce, 3 part water, and then add like different spices, and then that's literally how you create this. It tastes so good on white rice, but I decided to add it in with my leftovers, and I was mixing cultures, I guess you can say, because it was Mexican rice and Mexican styled beans and like Asian, I guess, pickled avocado. But it was good enough for me, and I really didn't care. This is just like, I feel like this is kind of how you can dress up leftovers. I didn't do the best job of it, but honestly, it gave it all a new profile, which I was totally fine with. Alright guys, so the next day I had gone to the Korean market, and I went to 2, and for some reason the clips got deleted, but that right there is green tea that I bought because I wanted to make iced green tea. I thought it would turn green, but it actually turned brown. Yeah, so this is me just steeping the coffee. I used 2. Also on the side I was eating oranges. I had a few of those. I was steeping the coffee, and while I was waiting for the coffee to steep, I made me like a single tortilla with these fajita veggies. And then I added like a big dollop of guac because I still had some left over, and that's what I had. I think that night, and the food that I was making was that I make later, I think was for the next day or later that night. I really don't remember. But I was still full for my last meal. So back to the tea in this ugly pot of mine. After it steeps, you add typically your sugar to make like the aid, like the tea aid or the green tea aid or whatever. But I just added agave, and that's kind of like a healthier version, right? So you add in the mixture, you put it in like a cup. Obviously, I add quite a bit of ice because it's super hot at this point. And then we add our water, which is what I added at the end, and then that's how we got that tea. Next is our spring rolls. And damn, I was making this last night, really trying to film for y'all because I got out of work late. But spring rolls is just like the easiest way to eat healthy. As you can kind of see, I add a bunch of veg in here, one being some sort of starch. So typically you wouldn't have to add a potato if you already have noodles, but I added both. So yeah, I did the sweet potato. You can skip that if you want. This is also me just kind of showing you all the ingredients that I use. Also, seaweed is another one that I did because I had to bake the potato first. I cut that, and then I put that in the oven while I was making everything else. This is me just cutting the seaweed. I had 2 different kinds. I thought they were going to be the same kind, but they weren't. They were a little different. I wanted to make a wrap out of seaweed, but that didn't work out. So I just put it in, you'll see, the spring rolls. So if you don't know what a spring roll is, oh, by the way, this seaweed is the one that I got at the Korean market or the Asian market. I went to both, so I don't know which one I got it at. It was so good. And then this is also sort of the noodles that I use. These are kind of different. I'm trying to like, yes, eat. I mean, I do eat carbs, but like not only eat carbs, because like most days that's all I want. Like I would just want pasta. So this is like a bean thread. You soak it in water, and then it is ready in like a couple minutes. And that was just some sort of seasoning that tastes really good over plain rice. And I'm also sauteing, that seasoning, by the way, just gives a lot of flavor. I'm also sauteing these couple of veg. Typically when I make like spring rolls or even like a salad, for example, I like there to be a variation between like warm food and cold food. I feel like I started a different topic earlier, like a few seconds ago, and I totally like left it behind. I don't know what I was gonna say about that, but as far as the tofu goes, I cut it earlier, but in case you forgot, I'm totally showing you again. The triangles will come out different shapes depending on the original size of your tofu. So these are a little bit like longer triangles, which is fine. Actually works for the spring roll. And I normally just like, I like the taste of tofu on its own, so I just kind of saute it on both sides with oil, and then it just becomes like crispy tofu, which I'm totally fine with. You could also add flavor to this. Honestly, like I love the taste of just plain old tofu. And then I like adding a sauce at the end. And this is me adding some sort of greens. And this is like what I'm talking about when I say like it is so easy to just make this super healthy, and it tastes really good. I'm sorry that like throughout some of my clips you'll see those like waves, those lines. I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyway, basically you dip. This is like this is like the rice paper. It's really weird, but once you like soak it in for like 15-30 seconds, it's fine. Like you soak it in water. So that was me adding the seasoning onto the wrap because it turns sticky once it's exposed to water for a few seconds. And then I'm like layering all of the food that I added. I didn't for some reason film a clip of me cutting and showing you the avocado, but I added it at the end here. But you can kind of see like what I normally go for. This is going to be like a loaded spring roll, but typically like I'll do a green, some sort of veg, some sort of carb, and some sort of fat. I just kind of get I guess I get hungry, and that's why I decide to add like more warmth. So that's where the sauteed come in, like the sauteed food or whatever. I don't know, I prefer it. And then also the sauteed food, like I did add salt, pepper, and soy sauce. So that gives it like some sort of flavor. This is a little tacky, which honestly is why it holds its shape so well once it's rolled up. It really doesn't take that long to make. I think if you dip your fingers in water, like it'll wrap better. And this is me showing you how I dip it in that fermented avocado that I showed you earlier sauce. And these are how they come out. They're really cute. Anyway, so to go with that, even though I did not pair it together, this is my peach tea. I love making peach tea, and I was showing you that I was watching Gossip Girl and I was boiling my water. Same thing, like I made the green tea. You run the water, you steep the tea, and then this time I'm actually making like frothy milk so that we can have like a milky peach tea, which I normally pick up my peach tea at the farmer's market, but it was actually closed this Saturday, RIP, because, and I'm running out of ingredients, but because it was raining and I'm so emo about it. But this is basically how you froth your milk on a French press, which I have, and I don't have a frother, so this works for me. Really, you just do it for like, I don't know, like 30 seconds to a minute, and it should be ready. So again, I would recommend using 2 bags for this, so it could be a little stronger, but I was feeling kind of stingy. Anyway, you pour on, sorry about the lines by the way, but you pour on the frothy milk, and then I kind of want to show you that I added some peach-ade that I had made from before onto here, so that's kind of like the fruit bits and then the sugary bits also came into this peach tea, and then I added some cinnamon on the top. That's me waving hello and goodbye, drinking it. Tastes like a festive holiday because of the cinnamon. And that concludes my video. I really hope that you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, that's my cat. See you guys soon.